Hello, friends. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. How are you? This is Marina Shepelsky. Just going to wait for some more people to start watching. Marina Shepelsky, immigration attorney, here with immigration news with you guys every week. I talk about immigration news and I answer your questions. I answer your questions live. You can post them in the comments. I'm with you on TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook. So here we go. I'm going to start talking about the big news this week is big news for students, number one. It was announced by USCIS that they will no longer recognize an organization called ACICS accreditation, and that's an acronym for the Accredited Council for Independent Colleges and Schools, which was supposed to be an organization that would make schools acceptable for issuing student visas, right? So they actually allowed schools, they made decisions if a school can give student visas. So because they're no longer recognized, people who already have student visas are going to have a lot of problems because it looks like they will not be recognized anymore. So the school doesn't exist for student visa purposes anymore. So this will affect students whose schools obviously were accredited, given permission to issue student visa by this organization, ACICS, and they lost their recognition. Now this is going to affect people applying for English study and 24-month STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, OPT extension programs, people who are going for H-1B, and even I-140 applicants. So this is the big news. I don't know what happened, but they lost their accreditation, so they can no longer give this permission. And it's an organization that has a long history. They were founded in 1912, and they're gone now. So I don't know. I guess somebody did something wrong. All right. So basically, here. This is what the problem was. I found why they lost. I'm sure you guys, would want to know. Why did they lose their recognition? It says in February 2021, in a final staff report, the Department of I guess, Homeland Security found that the staff at ACICS failed to comply with federal recognition criteria. It didn't monitor if the schools were complying. There wasn't enough administrative capability. So the U.S. Department, of Education terminated them, and then USCIS terminated them. So I'm sure that's going to be a lot of schools, and I'm not going to read you a list. You should check it out. If you have a student visa, you should be very concerned right now if you have a student visa, and you need to check on what's going on with it. Now, this is really interesting. I'm moving on to the next piece of news. This is really interesting that there's midterm elections coming up. Midterm elections are coming up, and they're polling, they're surveying voters. They're asking voters what's going on and what their positions are on different issues. And they asked about immigration. So they said, guys, how do you feel about legalizing illegal immigrants? And this comes, of course, in the context of our ongoing conversation with you guys about the new proposal for the immigrant registry amnesty, right? So how do these voters feel about it? Now, the voters are related to the politicians they're electing. So the politicians would follow what their people want, what their voters want. So they actually surveyed or polled 5 major, they're called battleground states. They're the states that always decide the outcome of any election. They asked them, how do they feel about the amnesty idea for illegal immigrants ahead of the midterm election? And 73% of voters in these 5 major battleground states, including Arizona and Wisconsin, said they support the amnesty. They want to have illegal immigrants to get some kind of a way to get status, earn their right to green card, and then get US citizenship. People are not against this idea. It's the politicians that are against it. And it is such a majority. 73% is a huge number. It wasn't like half and half. It was 73%. And these are big states, and these are Republican states. These are not like liberal Democrat states like New York, for example. New York always votes for these. I'm going to just tell you what the states are real quick. These are big Republican states, and they are, it's a big article with CBS News. I'm sorry, even 74%, not 73%. Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Big states, usually Republican, and 74% of the voters, 3/4, said they are in favor of immigrants living in the US getting legal permission and the opportunity to work and earn lawful status and ultimately citizenship if they don't have background problems. If there's no crimes, if they pay taxes, why not, right? So that was great news. And this is why I'm hopeful about this amnesty, because I see that people in the United States do support this amnesty. So if the people are supporting it, the politicians will have to listen and follow. So I'm hoping that we are waiting and we are going to see this new amnesty pass Congress. And they just recorded a YouTube video about this. So I invite you guys to watch this later this week. It's going to come out very soon. The processing time for N-400 citizenship applications has now reached 18 months in some cases as of August 2022. So this organization, that's a big nonprofit immigration organization called Boundless, they did a poll, they did a survey of the different field offices and how long it takes to get citizenship right now. And the time, I think, is like 18 months, but it's like really very unique, and it hasn't happened in a long time that it took this long. This is very long to become a US citizen, to get to an interview, to get your US passport is going to take even longer. And there, by the way, there are delays with US passports as well. So the process to get your citizenship could be 18 months. And it's more than double the average processing times between 2012 and 2016. So things have gotten much, much worse with USCIS, according to this report, and it's really bad. So that's all I wanted to say in terms of news. And I checked this morning, there was nothing else going on. Well, let me check one more time if there's something crazy that happened this morning. I check all the time, and there's always something happening. There's always some article coming out. No, nothing else with USCIS. Just reminding you that Ethiopia now has TPS, temporary protected status. Ethiopia has TPS. Let me tell you the dates. Okay. They didn't even add Ethiopia yet. Another, 1 second. Yeah, here. So they announced it that as of October 18th, actually as of October 21, Department of Homeland Security announced the designation of Ethiopia for TPS for 18 months. And I just want to look up the dates. It says that if you were in America since October 20th, 2022, you were going to be able to, from Ethiopia, if you're Ethiopian in US since October 20th, 2002, you will be able to get TPS status for 18 months that allows you to work in the United States and get an advanced parole. So you could travel and come back and not lose your license. And also TPS allows people to get a green card through marriage or something like that if you entered without a visa. So it's a really good status. And I just wanted to remind everybody that's new and not everybody knows about it yet. So I just wanted to let you know about that. That's that. The one before that was Burma or Myanmar. The one before that was Syria was extended. And of course now Venezuela is getting TPS, and people from Venezuela can also get a new humanitarian parole if they only have a sponsor. Like if you have a family member or a friend or even an organization and you want to bring somebody here from Ethiopia, and it's super quick. I think like in a month, in 30 days, you can bring your people here with status, with humanitarian parole. So I just want you guys to be aware of that, and I'm about to start answering your questions. Before I start answering your questions, I want to talk briefly about asylum, because I always talk about VAWA, and you guys know we do a lot of VAWA work, abused marriage work, but we also do a lot of asylum work lately. And if you are from countries where things are really bad and human rights and civil rights are not protected, then asylum is for you. For example, if you are from a strict Muslim country and you're a woman, pretty much there's so many topics for asylum. If you're just a woman from like Pakistan or Iran or something like that. And I'm just going to start saying hello to some of my friends. Shianka Gale on YouTube says hello. My follower Kamuji on YouTube says good morning, my favorite lawyer. Imani says good morning, Marina. Mar Torres on YouTube says good morning, Marina. People are starting to ask questions. I will get to that in a minute. I just want to say good morning to some of my friends here, and good morning to TikTok. Thank you for watching. I'm going to start answering questions in a minute. Asylum. So to prove asylum, you have to prove you're in a protected category. So you have to explain why you're asking for asylum. Is it because of your nationality that you were abused in your country, your religion? Social group is a big one. If you're a woman, if you were being forced to marry, if you were being forced into, God forbid, female mutilation, genital mutilation, like female circumcision, all of that is really bad, and we give people asylum for that. Then you have to prove that you were abused or likely to be abused in the future if you go back to your country right now. And that you can prove by either past abuse, past persecution. If you were beaten, arrested, and you have paperwork to show it, that's, oh, my friend The Dream says hello on YouTube. Hi, she's always watching me. Thank you so much. So you need to file for asylum. First thing, you have to get to the United States. We only work with people here inside the United States, or at the border, we can help you as well. So you got to get yourself to the Mexican border or Canadian border and get into the United States, ask for asylum at the border, or you can get here by visa and ask for asylum inside the United States. We work with those clients. We will help you file the petition, I-589, and put together your story with you, make it really clear, make it, fit the format of why you're asking for asylum, and help you get asylum. So give us a call if you're from a country where your rights were not observed, where the police could not give you protection. As a matter of fact, if you were in a domestic violence situation in your country and the police could not help you, we can help you get asylum. So give us a call. I'm going to start with questions from TikTok. People are saying, Ahmed says, hello, my dear. How are you? Another hello. Hello, Mama. Good evening, Marina. Hello from Charmed or Charmel 04. Kevin says he's been trying to call. Lots of people saying hello. I can't call people back. We have a whole team who answers the phones in our office and schedules consultation. I am so busy. I don't have time to talk to all of you individually. But when you schedule the consultation, I do, and my team does. So we have lawyers in the office who will talk to you and talk about your case. And I'm here just to entertain and answer some questions. Hello, Lawyer Marina. This is Mr. Quadwo. How are you? Hi, how are you? Good morning. Rodolfo Jude says, good morning. I'm so happy that God sent you here to help us poor immigrants. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, and Rodolfo is asking, if you're a caregiver, can your boss file for you? It depends if you are in status. If you are in status right now, if you have a visa, yes, you can get a work visa of like the lower category, and yes, but it takes like a year and a half, and you have to be in status the entire time. Another question from TikTok. If somebody enters US with a visit visa, can he stay in US and apply for a green card? Yes, but there's a big but here. You can, but you'd have to file through one of the methods like Asylum. You get a green card through that. Marriage to a US citizen, you get a green card for that. A company to sponsor you for a work visa, you got to get a boss or sponsor for that. So that's, that's how it works. Michael says, hi Marina, where is your office? I'm in New Jersey and would like to make an appointment for an in-person consultation. Well, my phone number is on the bottom of the screen. My friends on TikTok, my phone number is in my bio. Our office is in New York City, in Brooklyn. We take New Jersey clients. As a matter of fact, I live in New Jersey, but I don't have an office here yet. So please call us and schedule a consultation. We take people in person. We'll be very happy to see you. Good morning and come and welcome. Here's a question. Kamuj says, after a request for evidence comes for VAWA, I received my prima facie. Is it a good sign, and how long before I receive a work permit with the C9? I'm going to go to uscis.gov and tell you the processing times today for work permits. So it depends where you live in terms of how long it will take you for your work permit. And I go to processing times, check case processing times, and I scroll down to I-765 application for employment authorization. And I go to C9. That's your category is based on pending green card. And let's say you're in the National Benefit Center. I don't know which center you're in. It takes about 8.5 months, but if you're in Texas, it takes 14 months. So it depends where you live, how long it will take to get your work permit. And it's a good sign that you're getting a prima facie, but it doesn't mean necessarily that you will get approved. It just means they're still processing your case and you're in status right now. Why is asking, do you think the registry will pass? If so, what makes you think that? If you listened from the beginning of the show, and this will be saved in the YouTube videos, but if you listen, I said, because they just surveyed voters in the major states of the United States, like Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, 5 what's called battleground states. They're the states that decide elections. And those people, 74%, 3/4 of them, said they're for amnesty. They want an amnesty. They don't think people should just stay here and struggle if they're illegal. They want those people to get socials, work here, earn a right to a green card and citizenship. That's normal, and I think this is why people are finally realizing that we need an amnesty, and I think it will pass. Shianka says, I've been granted a work permit and advance parole documents over a year ago through VAWA. I want to visit my country. Is it okay? Yes. If you have an advance parole and your case is pending, and VAWA takes about 3 years right now to be approved, you can absolutely take your advance parole and travel with it. No problem. Crystal says K1 fiance visa process times, and why is it taking so long? So if you watch my TikToks, I'm always posting about how long things take. And right now, I'm going to tell you how long the K1 fiance visa takes. If your case is going through the California Service Center, it takes 15 months. And some places it's 3 months. So plus add time to that for the consulate to schedule you and interview you. The reason why everything is taking so long, so for a fiance visa right now, it's between 3, which is impossible, let's say 6 to like 18 months. Why it takes so long? Because the consulates were closed and they never worked really hard in the first place, but they were closed over COVID pandemic. They're very delayed interviewing everyone. And I think they're still interviewing people in like triage level. So they're trying to move the old cases, but also adding new cases for interviews, depending on the emergency nature of these interviews. So that's why it's so delayed, and it's longer than ever. Everything doubled, as I just told you earlier when talking about news. Everything doubled in time it takes to process. Hi, how are you? Okay, I just answered about the fiance visa. Monday, James. How long does an I-130 petition take? Good question. Very common as well. I-130 petition is a petition filed for parents, for children, for brothers, for sisters and brothers, for children filing for parents. That's the family petition for a green card, I-130 petition. And it depends, I-130, in which category you're filing in. So if you're filing as a U.S. citizen filing for a parent, it's taking it's pretty quickly. So it's about, let's say if you're in Nebraska, it's about 10 and a half months. I know it seems like a lot, but that's pretty quick. If you're in a long category, like if you filed for a sibling, brother or sister, the petition could take like 10 years, but the wait is like 16 years, depending on where you're from. How can I seek asylum in the United States? Asks Henry MHK07 on TikTok. Asylum. This is a great question because that was on my list of topics today. Again, we file a petition. We file a form I-589. You can go on the website, uscis.gov. You can find that form and you can look at the questions. The questions are first biographic. Where were you born? What's your date of birth? Your addresses, the schools you went to, your jobs, and all that. Then it says, why are you afraid to return to your country? Do you feel like you're in a social group, or because of your politics, or because of your religion or nationality, that you would be abused, or you already were abused? Why are you afraid to go back? All right. So Mar Torres says on YouTube, good morning. Is it possible to start the VAWA abuse marriage petition process? If my FOIA means he got a copy of his case from USCIS. His archive copy says that he was allowed to withdraw his application in lieu of ER. I was told I can continue with process, but I'm a little scared. You can do VAWA in any status. Do not be scared, okay? VAWA you can file even if you were already deported. So no problem. Okay, Milton Torres also says, good morning. I got my travel document and work permit through VAWA. I came 23 years ago with somebody else's passport back then. No biometrics were taken and he's afraid to travel. You have the advance parole. Do not be afraid to travel. As long as your VAWA or your green card application is still pending, you're good to go to travel. Good morning, says Marsha. Good morning. Ivo Bridget says, Madam, can a Portuguese national get asylum in the United States? You can if you can prove that you tried to complain about some problem and the police couldn't help you. So yes, you say. Again, about the fiancé visa, I already said between like 6 months to 18 months. How long does it take USCIS to approve it? Between 3 to 15 months, and then add a few more months for the consulate to interview you. Okay. Afghanistan now has TPS, and there's even a way to get asylum from Afghanistan. So you can definitely give us a call, and we will help you. Kamuja says thanks, and he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. So your question was, oh, you live in Georgia. I don't know because it depends on the processing center that has you. If you look at your I-765 receipt notice on the bottom left side, you will see which processing center is handling your work authorization, your I-765 form. And then when you look up processing times, you go to uscis.gov. You go to case processing times and you get the I-765 and you find the processing center that's working on your case and you can see how long. By the way, this is for everyone. If you have any kind of a case with USCIS, they always tell you the case number and which processing center it's being handled at. You can always look up processing times by that center. So you can check how long it's going to take based on everyone else in your processing center. Another travel question: if you have advance parole and your case is still open, you're fine to travel. Okay, I answered that one. Good morning, says Niameki. King Solomon. Good morning, says Alero and Jimen on YouTube. Niamekia King Solomon asks me, how long does it take to get a response back on an appeal or motion to reopen Form I-290B based on my denial of I-485? Bad news, it takes a long time. It takes a very long time. And as a matter of fact, they don't even tell us how long. But based on my personal experience, it could take anywhere between 1.5 years to even 3 years. It could take 3 years. Okay. Let's do some more TikTok questions. Tiger says he wants to bring his parents. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can bring your parents here. It's not a problem. They'll be here in about 1 year and 3 months, depending on the country. My friend says he's from West Africa, Ghana. Okay, Ahmed says, I'm Ethiopian and applied for asylum, waiting for about 2 months. What should I have to do now about TPS? Give us a call. We can help you file for Ethiopian TPS. You need to file a special form for TPS. And the form is I-821. I-821, application for temporary protected status. And oh, the website is stuck. USCIS website just went down. So I can't check the processing times. 1 second. Let me try it again. No, it's down. The website is down. So it's hard for me to tell you how long it takes, but based on my experience, I've seen people get approved in like 4 or 5 months to a year. All right. Somebody wants me to do a live with them. I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Oh well, it's too late. What is the processing time for a parent petition by a child when submitted? Everything includes medical documents in the USA. Okay, as I mentioned, the application itself takes about 9-10 months, and then you wait for the embassy to process you and VC to get everything and to schedule for an interview. It could take another 5-6 months. Gui says, my kid is CRBA, was denied overseas because I was naturalized before my 5-year in USA. Any exception? Unfortunately, no. You probably have to file a lawsuit or just file again for US citizenship, and that will help you. But it's going to take some time, and you might have to file a new petition. What is the processing time for an I-130 for minor child of LPR? About two years, approximately. I'm a British citizen, says Yared Muhammad Moya. I'm a British citizen. I want to move to US, but I have no family work sponsorship. Where can I move? It's hard. You have to get a sponsorship. Maria Ambar says, if the spouse is living inside the United States with him, have interview for I-730 petition. You will have an interview probably for a green card. I don't know if it's going to be directly for the I-730 petition. The I-730 petition usually doesn't have an interview unless it's for a visa. How long does it take a response for FOIA to immigration? Oh my God, FOIAs are very delayed now as everything else. It takes sometimes 9-10 months for FOIA. My consultation fee is the same, whether it's for an hour or 30 minutes, because there's a lot of work that our whole staff puts into it. It's not just my time. So we usually plan for about an hour of our time. My personal one is 400, and my associates, which I have 4, who also interview the same things that I do, and theirs is $250. It's been more than 120 days since my marriage interview. When will I get my green card? You have to contact USCIS online. There's a phone number, or you could just chat with Emma and just tell them you've been waiting for a long time, what's going on, and so on. I have administrative closure with PD of my immigration removal case, my deportation case. Can I get a travel document? Absolutely not, because if you're administratively closed, it means you still have an active case, but it's on pause. So you are in removal proceedings. If you leave, you self-deport, so they will deny you. I would like to sponsor my family, sister and brothers. How long it will take? About 16 years. I've been waiting for my adjustment of status, I-485 now, for 13 months. Still need wait more from Seattle. It takes about 18 months sometimes to get the interview. So everything's super delayed right now. Just be patient. What needs to be done for administratively closed cases because of removal proceedings? Crystal, give us a quote. We'd have to figure out exactly what has to be done for you. It's not like something that's the same thing for everyone. Okay, so I'm about to wrap up here. My last question from TikTok from Zalia Walkis. I filed for my adjustment of status green card in Maine in February. I got my work permit and social in March. Wow, that's quick. Please, when will be my green card interview? If you're in Maine, I don't know if this is up yet. Their website was down. So I was able to just do it live before. I think it's still down, the website. I can't get anything. I think they're probably working on their website. I usually tell people 1.5 years to wait for a green card through marriage. That's approximately how long it takes. Okay, a couple more questions from YouTube, and I'm wrapping up. Alera says, my cousin filed for VAWA, and he's yet to get a receipt notice of his application. It's been 7 weeks since he submitted. I would give it another couple of weeks, and if nothing comes, give them a call and say that you are waiting for too long. Jewel McCaw says, I'm a green card holder. How long will it take to get my son here? He's 30 years old. If he's single and unmarried, about 7 to 8 years. And with this question, I'm going to end my show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next Thursday, either 10 or 11 o'clock New York time. And this YouTube video will be saved in my feed. You can watch it later. And I will try to save my TikTok as well, but I still haven't figured out how to do it. So I'm going to take a second to do that. I'm going to say goodbye to my YouTube and Facebook.